inside receivers coach, Logan Bradley. Questions for Logan, Greg?
So, Logan, I guess the easy start is just give me a look at your position, how the guy's doing. What do you think of them individually?
Overall, I think the positions they're doing pretty good right now. Got some ways to go still, getting better each and every day that we're out there on the field. But I think they're embracing the culture and embracing what we ask them to do every day. Getting led by a guy, DJ Ups. I think he's leading the group pretty well right now. Money Weaver is getting back into the things. He was a guy who knew what we asked of last year, who can kind of help lead into as well in his own way. And then you got Bray, who was here last year, who helps out with us. John Nider getting in a little bit. The expectation this year is everybody just be ready for your number to be called, to know what you're doing at all spots. So I feel pretty good about it.
How does it work when you have guys, Rod was talking about, a lot of his receivers, Bray in particular, working inside, working outside, maybe doing both throughout the season? How does that work for you as the inside receivers coach? You have a guy that maybe one day you're with and the next day you may not be with as much.
Well, you know what? It's not that bad because the way we teach, the way Coach Rod asks of us as coaches to teach the plays, it's not just teach your position. Hey, this guy has this, you have this. It's no, when we install, it's, hey, what does all of the guys got? If I ask DJ on the board right now, the expectation is to draw everything but the O-line. In certain plays, I want to know, do you know what the O-line's doing? Because we can be asked to do some help out in that way in a sense. But so it doesn't worry you, because you know that they're what we getting asked as a coach from Coach Rod, they're getting taught that in that way.
Is that common with what you've seen throughout your career around the country to have that scenario, or is you just getting used to it now under Coach Rod?
I think I've seen it, but I think it's more now I'm embracing it more.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Everybody, you want to teach them to play, but now it's when you got a head coach like Coach Rod that's so hands-on in offense and he installs it, and it means something to him that it gets done the right way. Those guys see it from the top. When you see it from the very top, then you know the expectation, so it's kind of easier for those guys to respect. You see your leader doing it in the way he teaches, then
Not every head coach is as hands-on, and not every head coach
Yep.
is basically the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. So
How have Jaden and John looked in this lot so far?
pretty good. Bray's a freak. He's a good player, and he's a guy who just want to do whatever for the team. So he's been good. John's good. He's just a consistent old John who can do everything for you. He's just both of them have come in and done their job, and that's what we've been asking those guys to do. So they've been pretty good.
Insight on Epps. Give me what are your thoughts of him? He's the most experienced in terms of college play. So what do you think of him?
What I love about Epps is he understands what we're asking, and it's he takes coaching very well, but he can see what happened in front of him because like you said, he got the experience, right? So he can tell when the blitz is coming. He can tell what type of coverage this is. It's not as much as hey, let me teach you this coverage. Let me break this down football 101 for you. When you do that to him, it's like, oh yes sir, I know this, I know that. So it kind of helps. It gives you a more it makes you as a coach comfortable, and then he puts his head down and work. He's not surprised by any look that comes his way. He understands the grind that comes with it being in for 5 plays in a row and you're tired and we're going tempo. So that makes you feel good as a coach with him.
We didn't see a lot of Cyrus Traw on the field last year, but he comes back and we've heard his name a lot this fall. He won the Nicolich Award in the spring. Can you talk a little bit about his development and how you're feeling about him?
Man, Cyrus is a baller. Love Cyrus. I love Cyrus. Love his demeanor. Love his attitude. Love the way he's been going to work this camp. Love him. Man, Cyrus is my guy. I love him to death. The way he's been coming into work, putting his head down, his development from last year to this year, it's crazy. I told some of my guys in my room, if y'all want to see somebody who developed and bought in and grown, it's Cyrus. That's the mark you need to kind of chase. Whether you play or don't play, you want to get that work in, and I think that's a guy who knows what's at stake for him, and it means something to him. And he's been having a dang good camp. Knock on wood, but man, I love Cyrus. He's great. And first of all, I love him as a kid. As a young man, but he's been growing on the field.
How does Triple fit in the picture?
Tripp is good. He's getting better every day. Still learning everything. He's a big body, 6 foot 205, and I'm just trying to teach him how to play that way. But he's getting better each and every day and taking coaching.
Biggest difference you've seen from Armani Weaver?
Amani, I think he's taking in the perimeter blocking well. Him coming in and asking, I've challenged him since last year at the end of the season in our exit meetings to take that personally and go in there. He was a guy last year who was on scout team and it got moved up to travel because of the defensive coaches raving about how hard he worked. And then in our program, if you work hard, that means something here. And he got moved up because of how hard he worked. And I just challenged him. You was behind all those guys last year. Let's see what did we need to prove on overall in the room. You take that personally because you're the only one returning, right? And I think he's been answering the bell since he's been back. And, in today's time in college football, I think a lot of times guys want to up and go. I think he's a guy who wants to sit and be developed and be coached. He's not in no rush. He's just like, make me better. He's hungry, and that's what I love about our money.
What are your thoughts just in general, because you're doing a lot of it with Bray and others that are moving in and out and playing some slot, of the stereotype on the slot receiver size-wise, especially in the NFL. A lot of it maybe is the shorter guy who maybe can have some speed, but the taller, like a Randy Moss build is never going to be a slot receiver. What are your thoughts on moving guys in and out that maybe aren't the stereotype size-wise, and if that is changing at all in football?
Yeah, that's a good question, but, everybody's always done it that way, right? So, why not go test it out and see? Why haven't it worked? No one's truly have done that to see, and it's like, why not? It might work, These guys, it creates a disadvantage for you. At the end of the day, it's all about will and want, and work. So, like a guy like Bray coming in, he creates a mismatch right there. That's a big body and guy who still got some twitch and some speed to him. It's just unfortunate for him. He's just been, battled with injuries. But when you get somebody like that, it's just like it makes your eyes get big. He just can create freakish plays for you. And that's just some stuff you want to take as a coach, take credit for. But sometimes that's just him being him.
Jaden Bray mentioned the other day he name dropped a freshman, Landon Drum. Any opinions or thoughts on what you've seen from him early on?
Yeah, Landon Drum's been putting his head down and coming to work every day too, especially as a young guy. Well, when his number's called to get in there, he's been answering it. He's been taking coaching well. Obviously got your freshman mistakes here and there, which is, it's going to happen. But he's been doing a good job coming in whenever Coach Gary calls him in there. I know for my guys in there, it'd be like, oh, here he come, the Alaskan, here he come, So he's been doing a good job.
Any other true freshmen playing slot? I mean, Landon, of those freshman receivers, any of them slots? Are they all wide outs? What are they?
Well, like I said, expectation is when you come in here to learn both, So in the summer, we tried to mix it up and get some of those guys inside and out. So, like at one point in the summer, we had Charlie Hannafin inside getting some reps in there. We had, going through the freshman list in my head, we got Greg Wilford in there as well, who's been with me from New Orleans. But for the most part, we got Brad from in-state, he's been in there with me. So I say out of the 15, I think out of total wide receivers, we got 15, about all but 5 has really been getting reps in the inside. Both.
Teron Francis, because he was half and half before, right?
Yeah, Teron Francis, he's been getting some too. This summer, a lot mainly, and right now we're going to ease him in there as well. Listen, I told these guys this yesterday. As a matter of fact, it's our job as a coach to put the best 11 out there. So I got to find out who's the best. If it's Bray, if it's I would say man child, Teron, whatever. So we want to get all these guys reps at both to figure out who gives us the best chance to play Mountaineer football.
This is unfair, but when the time comes where Matt Sig can play some offense.
Yeah, I've been walking by him, I just saw him in the cafeteria. I was like, hey, let me know when you want to get like 4 reps in. I can teach you,
Just like start him inside.
Oh man, listen, Matt C can come in my room anytime he want. I tell him that. He's been mainly trying to get on down on defense, and I've been throwing a little hints at him. And during the spring and summer we got together a little bit, so I'm excited about him. He's a good player.
Do you got your hands full with your slot receivers and your outside receivers, but running backs catch a lot too. How much work do you get with them in drills and trying to see what they can do, or how you just help them out?
Man, well, Coach Jay does a great job. First off, what an OG of a coach. What a great coach. What a great human being he is. I think he does a good job teaching them that as well. Now, would they come to me for a question or anything? Yeah, I give them there. But I think we do a good job of trusting the staff that when we're in our meetings that I trust Jay to know what he's teaching when they're at slot, And the same as me, I think I go to Coach Jay all the time when my guys might be in the backfield, hey, Coach, this and that. And we trust each other and we lead off. So I think Coach Jay's been doing a great job teaching them that.
Matt again, Coach Rodriguez was basically saying that right now, Matt Sig it's all about defense for him, even though previously there maybe was thoughts about offense. How difficult would it be, or would there be a challenge that if Rod would come to you mid-season and say, we need to make this week trying him on offense?
We get it
like,
done.
Can that be a quick process,
Yeah.
or is that going to put him behind the 8 ball?
Nah, we get it done. All right, Coach Ryan harps on us is don't make it never too difficult for the players. At the end of the day, they got to go out there and play free and fast, right? So that'd be pretty simple in my mind, because we're not going to ask him to go, learn 1,000 different things, right? So, and I think he's a smart young man. So I think he can pick it up. I believe his dad's a coach, so I think he understands what comes with it, and so I don't think that'd be difficult. I think he can bring and also, at the end of the day, the head coach tell me to do my job. That's my job to get it done, right? But I just take that. I'll put that on my point of emphasis on my back of, hey, let's get it. Come on, see, let's get it. Let's get it done. And I trust in him to do it.
And has there been anything in your mind where you have to think in the back of your mind, even months ago, I got to have this kind of ready for the possibility, so that if that would occur, you're not starting from scratch. In your mind right now, as we're talking, you might already say, if he tells me tomorrow, I already can do this and this with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if Coach Rod told me today go meet with Matt, I would have already in my head have what plays I know. Because again, being with Coach Rod now for a year and with this staff who know Coach Rod and the way they think, I would know exactly where we're gonna start off the base point, and I can get that done.
Is that a guy that can play inside too, or is he more outside?
He's been playing mainly outside right now, but he is a guy who I had time with in the summer that came in a little bit, but his speed is so deadly. But right now he's been mainly outside.
So many players are trying to get reps now, all the things that you've been discussing. How do you approach an individual practice? Do you have, I want to see these guys this many reps, this many snaps when you're going full team? Is somebody tracking all that for you? How do you implement that day to day?
You kind of know. It's kind of you get a feel for it. You kind of know. I think our strength staff does a good job off the mileage and the yards and all that they get per day. But and I got a great assistant, Coach Stain. He's with me and my right hand man. They're with me like, hey, so and so haven't got this many reps with the ones and twos, So the approach of it is I kind of know in my head that day of who's getting it and all that, and we manage it pretty well. And then I know the next day, okay, he didn't get that many. Let's make sure he get these looks and such as.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank y'all.